How you going, people? Another crazy cop story here. So this one's kind of pretty quick, but this kind of went on. This is probably a bunch of crazy cop stories. I won't tell you all, but I remember this one, and it happened several times. So we're man, it's a little nippy here. My fingers are getting cold. It's supposed to get 70 today, but it's like 39 or 40 outside right now. So we're searching. Me and my partner, when we were working gangs and guns, I had the same partner. So we pretty much, he was from a different agency than me, but we worked together because we were both on a grant. So we always kind of contact a lot of guys, especially young gangbangers. They were going to run, especially gun guys. If they got a gun, they're running, because as soon as they get out of their sight, they're going to throw the gun. Then when you catch them, you're going to pat them down, not find anything, and they're going to go, "Why are you chasing me? I didn't do anything. You guys are harassing me. You're racist, blah, blah, blah." So we're used to dealing with that. So we stopped this one dude, and I can't remember what the hell it was for. Probably probation. He could have had a bulge in his pocket, whatever. But we ran the dude, and he ended up having, I think, a misdemeanor warrant. And we probably were going to let him go, because we usually didn't mess with the misdemeanor warrants. We said, "Yo, man, can you give us something? We won't arrest you." We'd act like we were going to take him, try to get some information. Then if they didn't give us information and we still didn't want to take him, we'd be like, "Tell you what, we're going to cut you a break. You owe us. We're going to let you go, but you've got to give us some information down the road, blah, blah." So they'd be like, "Oh, man, that's cool. Thanks a lot." So they think we're doing a favor. Actually, we're like, who gives a shit about this misdemeanor bullshit warrant? You know, we want some good shit. So it was a misdemeanor warrant. We were going to let him go. But because we had talked to him and ran and he had a warrant, now we've got reason to search him. And he was acting a little squirrely, but not, you know, I mean, when I say acting squirrely, when people are putting their hands in their pocket, they're looking around, they're like, "Man, I didn't do it. Man, I got to be somewhere. Man, I got my wife's supposed to be," man, they got all these fucking excuses, and they're running around kind of quick, and they got fucking ants in their feet and ants in their pants, and they can't stand, and they're jittery. That's kind of acting iffy. So a lot of times we'll just say, "Dude, you're freaking making me nervous. Sit down on the ground, sit on the curb, cross your feet." Of course, if we're on a busy road, we don't want them sticking their feet in the lane, so we can't have them sit on the curb. You know, maybe we'll have them sit on a tree or something, but we want to have them sit down. Could we pat them down? I mean, we can. I mean, I pat down a lot of people for less than that. But on this reason, this guy just kind of looked like kind of a little punk. We got to let our guard down, because he just seemed like he was no threat. But he was all worried about something. So we figured, all right, maybe he's got a little weed or something on him. Who gives a shit? You know, we found marijuana. We throw it on the ground, smear it, and go get out of here. I mean, nobody cares. I mean, it's only a ticket anyway. So most cops say, "Sure, we throw away crank. Crank's a felony." But they pass some law, they just get diversion. So cops are throwing away crank after a while, because that's what liberals do. They always make the poor drug users the victim, not to mention all the victims they make. And then they make it where cops are like, "Shit, it ain't worth. Hi, Monkey, what are you doing here? Don't you rub on that camera, you're going to get a big spanking. Dad's going to beat you like a furry stepchild. What are you doing? I'm going to grab that tail." All right, so we're stopping this dude and we're talking to him. He's kind of getting antsy. We're telling him to chill out. "What's your problem? Why are you so antsy? Why are you in a hurry? You're making us nervous." So he gives us his name and date of birth. And when you run, most guys you contact, "Man, I don't have any ID. You know, these aren't my pants. I woke up this morning, stayed at a flop house, there was 10 dudes, I put these pants on. I put the wrong pants on. I don't have any ID." So that's a very common story. You hear that 10, 15 times a month, easy. So we're like, "All right, what's your name? What's your date of birth?" And we'll run him. If he's got a tat or something, we'll verify his name. Verify something, we'll ask him. There's a thing in Sacramento called an X-Ref. And an X-Reference, they have an X number. Once you're arrested and booked in jail, you get assigned an X number, and that number is assigned to you. So anytime we pull your name up in a computer, any further contacts, all your past contacts, all your past arrests, anything that happens in Sac County, they have their own computer system. It's under this X-Reference number. So when you're in jail, in order to get soap, food, change of clothes, whatever, clean sheet, you have to sign or know your X number. Because when you get it, they go, "What's your X number?" And you have to spit it out. And it says 5, 6 digit, X 547328 or something, 5, 6 digits. So everybody knows their X-Ref if they've been in jail, because you got to give it all the time. So what cops will do, and we do a lot of times, is if a guy's giving us his name, blah, 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 what's your date of birth, we would just spit in there really quickly, "Okay, what's your X-Ref?" "Oh, it's X," and they'd pause. They'd be like, "Shit, I didn't want to give them my ex-ref because that's my real name. And we knew if they had an ex-ref and they knew what an ex-ref was, they had been in jail. So they told us, I've never been arrested, blah, blah. Really? Okay, what's your ex-ref? And then they start spitting it out, we'd have them. So we'd always ask for the ex-ref. Now, the guys who got us would be like, what's an ex-ref? And then we knew by the look on their face. If they have that look on their face like they're being cool, like, man, I don't know, I don't have an ex-ref. And they didn't ask what it was, then we knew they were probably lying. So anyway, we ended up getting this guy's ex-ref. He gives us his ex-ref, so we knew he was arrested. We run him, find out it's the right guy, he knows his ex-ref. He's got a misdemeanor warrant. We're like, fuck. All right, turn around, man, you got a warrant. You got anything on you? No. Got any dope? You know, hand grenades, needles, knives, bazookas, nothing? No, man, I ain't got nothing. All right. So we're patting him down. He's still kind of glancing around. So Joe, my taser buddy, he's got his taser out. Because if I'm handling somebody, he's usually got his taser ready. Well, shit, I'm kind of like being all lazy. This guy had to threaten shit. And he tries to bolt and he kind of pushes me off. So I'm bending down to check a leg and he pushes me back. And I don't go down, but I stumble backwards. And when he does, Joe slaps his ass. Well, he rolls on the ground and he's still resisting. He's still trying to get away. So we jump on him and one of the prongs come out. So when one of the prongs come out, the taser don't work. So he ends up getting us. We're both freaking fighting. The taser's going on. We didn't want to grab. We don't want to get stuck with the darts. So we're not really beating his ass, but we're just trying to hold him down, tell him stop, resist. Well, he ends up getting up, breaks away, and takes off. So the pursuit's on. So we're chasing this dude. And of course, me and Joe, we're always blaming each other when shit goes bad. I go, dude, what happened to your damn great-ass taser? We're running like, well, if your old ass hadn't got knocked down, I had to save your ass. And I'd be like, man, I've saved you more times. So we're arguing while we're chasing this guy, because if he gets away, who freaking cares? We tase him, he's got a misdemeanor warrant. You know, even though we catch him, we're going to tack on what? Misdemeanor resisting arrest? The DA is going to drop the resisting arrest. They're going to say he's got it for the warrant, and they're going to dismiss the case. I mean, why do they want to take us to court, start a new case, pick a jury, give him a public defender for this resisting arrest when he's already got a misdemeanor warrant that they've already got probable cause, they got a good case, they can charge him. And then if he goes to trial, they'll say, you know what, if you go to trial and you don't plead to this misdemeanor, we're going to charge you with these resisting arrests and fleeing, and they tack on all this other shit, say you get this much more time, so the guy ends up pleading. So normally resisting was just a bargain chip anyway. We knew we wouldn't get charged, and you know, we charge everybody that resisted. We'd be charging all the time, and then all of a sudden your jacket looks like, well, why are all these people resisting from you? You know, you've had 74 resisting arrest charges this year. And then somebody who sits behind a desk and don't deal with bad guys and gives parking tickets out for a living thinking he's a cop wants to start calling you in. You know, that's an awful lot of resisting arrest. Maybe it's you. Maybe you need to learn how to communicate with people. No, maybe I need to fucking start contacting pussies who are committing traffic violations instead of guys who have felony warrants who are going to prison who got nothing to lose by fighting with me. That's how I stop those complaints. Well, you know, Detective Gore, I don't like your attitude. Whatever. So, you know, it's one of those, whatever. So we end up chasing the guy, we end up catching him. I don't remember if we even booked him. After we caught him, he might have gave us some information and let him go, because I don't even remember booking him. But it's not that big of a deal, but me and Joe were always arguing. It's kind of funny, because every time he tased somebody, I'd be like, dude, quit being so quick on a freaking taser. I had the dude. Man, I just saved your life. If I had to tase him, he'd have had your gun and probably shot me. I was like, you freaking knuckleheads. Quit tasing people when I'm next to him. You're going to hit me and I'm going to be pissed. Well, if you were so old and slow, you wouldn't get hit. And we'd go back. We were always goofing around, and it was all in good. I mean, some of it was kind of true. I mean, I got a funny taste too much, and he thought I was slow, and he saved my life, even though I saved his life a lot more than he saved mine. But anyway, so that's one of our taser getaway stories. All right, we'll end that there.